Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Feeling and Healing podcast. Today, I'm so happy to welcome Claire Quick. She is a coach and she helps women build their confidence so they can have successful businesses. So, welcome, Claire. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you, Danielle. I'm very happy to be here and to have this chat with you.
Yes, I always love chatting with another female entrepreneur and coach because, as we were talking prior to getting on the call, we just have that understanding of one another.
Yeah, we can talk.
Yes, we can. Oh, we can. So speaking of your business, I would just love for you to tell the audience, because you started your business as like a side hustle and now it's a
hmm
full-blown success. So, and just tell me how to kind of, how your life led you to that. Because I know you have a really inspirational story.
Sure. So, yeah, I started in 2019. And when I started as a nutrition coach. So, I was all about nutrition. I dabbled a little bit into weight loss and I didn't like it. So, more around healthy living, healthy eating. And then I kind of was really looking for what I wanted to do. And I think I always knew what I wanted to do, but I never gave myself the permission to go there because who am I to even do that? What can I help people with? Like, I'm not, all of this mindset block and struggles. So
Mm-hmm.
for about 3 years, I was one foot in, one foot out. I was always like, I go for it. No, I don't. No, I don't know. I can't do it. And I didn't really allow myself to actually build the business, the audience, and do what I wanted to do. And then life happened. And life happened in 2023, where it was a bit of a, not a bit, it was a very hard year. It was the hardest year of my life. On a personal, yeah, on a personal level, I faced infertility. I had several miscarriages. I had IVF. I lost several people in my family, and all in like 6 months. So it was really traumatic, obviously. And in at the end of it, in September 2023, I was really broken. I was like the most broken a woman can ever be. And I
Mm-hmm.
was really broken. I was telling my mother, my sister-in-law, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, what is the point? It was really, really hard. And then I talked to a friend, and my friend told me, your life could be in a completely different place in 6 months. And, she just said that over a coffee to try to cheer me up. And I was like, F yeah, my
Yeah.
life could be in a different place in 6 months. And I was like, okay, for 6 months, I'm going to focus on rebuilding myself. Because obviously, going through several miscarriages and IVF, my body was just, yeah, not my body anymore. My mental health was very bad. So for 6 months, I focused on my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health, went all in with it. And I didn't do any coaching in 2023, 2024. When I was coming back to it, I didn't either. And then a lot of people were like, oh, that's so inspirational. How you managed like where you were 6 months ago to now how you're feeling. I think I got myself a promotion at work as well. So I was really like, I'm
Yeah.
changing things. And after 6 months, I felt better. And a lot of people were asking me about what I did. And I was like, well, let's do a coaching program.
Yeah.
And then I did a coaching program on it. And I was like, okay, that's going good, that's good. And I told my
Yeah.
husband, in 6 months, I'm leaving my job. In 6 months, I'm leaving
Amazing.
corporate and I'm going for
Yeah.
it because we waited, as probably many women, I wanted to have kids and for all of this to kind of go for my business and my dream. And I was like, you know what? It might just never happen anymore. So I told my husband, I will leave at the end of 2024. No, at the end of 2020. Yeah, 2024. I'm getting mixed up with the date now. And at the end of December 2024, I left corporate and then I went full time in my business. So it's been a whole year now. And
Amazing.
yeah, so it's been a rocky, slow start. And then this year in 2023, where I was like, you know what? My life could be in a completely different place and I'm going to take it down.
I love that for you. And I love that and I can't even imagine going through what you went through and then how you rebuilt yourself and just it's so inspiring and your resilience just and also too, I mean, I commend you as well for taking the time. You said your of course your body needed to heal, your mind needed to
Hmm.
heal. Your soul, I'm sure, just needed to heal. But you took, I always think it's so inspiring and empowering when people take something that like they went through in their lives and then they turn it into a business or they turn it into a program to help other people to, help follow their dreams and help, build their businesses.
Yeah, so when I went back, when I said I'm going to change my life, I wanted to get back into my business, but I knew I couldn't coach. And I
Mm,
thought, like, I can't, like, I'm in such a weird mental space, like, I cannot be a coach. So I was
hmm.
like doing different things. And years ago, when I started, I qualified in wellness, in some wellness treatment and Reiki. So this is where I went back to do first. I was like, okay, I'm going to open a wellness practice. And
Yep.
I'm just going to do that for now just because I want to make some money. I want to kind of rebuild something and do something. So I did that. And I'm still doing it because it worked out pretty well. It got fully booked within a week. And I've been fully booked since I started, um, what is it now, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And
Yeah.
I still like it. So I don't do many. I do like a few days a month just to keep it going because I like it. But yeah, so I went back doing this. And then 6 months after, when people were asking me, can you coach? Can you coach? Like, and now I feel like I can coach. But I think it was important to take the time just to rebuild
Yep.
myself and also know what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
And, my fertility journey was very traumatic for a year. But before that, we had 2 years or 3 years of trying to have a baby as well. So for many years, my life was just about let's build a family. And when you
Hmm.
realize that's not going to happen, then it's like, okay, so what do we do now?
Hmm.
Right? And I think, and last year we actually went back to IVF when I left corporate. Great timing. And we thought, you know
Oh.
what? Let's just like, I'm not in corporate anymore. The stars gonna align. It's gonna work. Let's go for it.
Yeah, yeah.
And we went for it, and it didn't work. And then we had to face the reality that we're never gonna have a family, and that is it's a very
Yeah.
weird grief to do because you grieve the family you never had, but you have lost a few times because I had miscarriages.
Of course. Yeah. Well,
So
I think that that's a loss. I mean, that to me
yeah,
is
it
a loss.
was.
Yeah.
It was. So beginning of last year, again, I went into having my business, but mentally it was very weird. I remember when my last IVF failed, I had three speaking engagements the same month. Sorry, I had three speaking engagements the same month.
Hmm.
And because obviously I booked them thinking, we're going to have IVF, I'm going to be pregnant, I'm going to feel
Yeah, you're
amazing,
gonna feel
I'm going to go
great.
out,
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
spread the word about life and how amazing this thing is. I never consider that it's going to fail. And
Yeah.
I had a speaking engagement about, what was it? Yeah, energy and positive energy
Hmm.
3 days after, 3 days after finding out
Oh
that
my gosh.
IVF didn't succeed. And I remember driving there and crying the whole way and being like, how
Oh.
can I was a keynote speaker for a business retreat. And I was like, how can I hold this keynote feeling like I just drive an hour crying and now I have to
Oh.
motivate a whole bunch of women.
I know now you have to be this like
So
positive light
I
for
know.
like a room of people. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That is, oh, I can't even imagine. I don't know
Yeah,
if I
well
would have
it
been able to hold it together.
yeah, it was oh, you're frozen again. Oh, yeah, you're back.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm back. Sorry.
So yeah, so I remember getting there and I had no talk until the day before. I couldn't find what to say. And it
Yeah.
came to me the night before. And you know what? I was really scared the day before because, okay, this is a speaking engagement. I'm a keynote at a retreat and I have nothing to say. And it's in
Nothing to say the
24
night
hours.
before. Yeah.
And the night before, I found the talk and I delivered it. And I was told it was the most inspirational talk a lot of them have ever heard. I had
Amazing.
amazing feedback.
That's
Then I had
awesome.
another talk today to do 3 days after, same topic. Again, I thought, okay, you know what? I'm gonna use the same
Yeah,
one,
use the
different
same.
bunch.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna use the same one. And till this date, like a few weeks ago, I had people telling me, "Oh, I heard your talk in February last year. It was so moving. It was the most inspiring talk I ever had."
That's
I
amazing.
cannot remember what I said.
Oh, you were
For
just
the
like
life
blacked
of
out.
me,
Yeah.
For the life of me, I was such on a survival mode. I cannot remember. So
Wow.
a lot of people said that because I spoke in the same group in December, and I was like, hmm, well, I hope you liked it.
Yeah, yeah. And that, well,
I'm
that
glad you
shows
did.
your, that I think, I mean, I can only imagine what your brain and what your body was going through in that,
Hmm.
you know, like as you said, you were probably in survival mode and just like, yep, I just gotta get through this. But also too, I think it shows your resiliency, and I'm sure it was so inspiring because it was, you know, you were probably speaking from the heart, and
Yeah.
you were expressing, it was a very vulnerable, I'm sure, like, I mean, I can imagine that was such a vulnerable time. And then it's also you're be on stage and it's just like, yeah, you're a keynote at this retreat. It's like probably so surreal, going through that.
Yeah, it was my first big talk as well. So I was like, this is not
Oh
the
yeah, and
headspace
also
I
the,
wanted
the
to be in.
nerves, yeah, your
Yeah, yeah, the
nerves
nerve
and
and everything.
you're just
Yeah.
like all the things that come up when we have to be like,
Oh, yeah, yeah, for
performing, if you
sure.
will.
Yeah, and physically, I just had IVF, so physically, like the hormones
Your
and
hormones, yeah.
the way your body feel, like, I remember getting there, I felt so bloated, I felt so sick. I was like, ugh, I
Mm,
just feel horrendous.
yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people said I was resilient. For me, I just didn't see it as a choice.
Yeah, it's
And
like
a
when you
lot
have
of
no other
people,
choice to be
oh
strong.
yeah, it's like, because I read, when I went through all of this in 2023, I read a few books on emotional resilience and
Uh-huh.
resilience.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't really get it. Like, you don't really have a choice. What's the option?
Yeah, I mean,
What's the option? And I
I
found
get
a
like, so
quote.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I mean, the other option is, I hate to say this, but like checking out. I mean, that's the you can go that route. I mean, of course, I never as,
Yeah.
in the mental, I never want anybody to get there, but I understand when people are in so much emotional pain that they want to do that. Like, of course, I don't want that for anybody, but I can
Mm.
understand that life gets so painful sometimes that,
Oh, for
like,
sure.
like, and like, I thank you for, when you said like, oh, I don't want to be here. Like, I've been in that, like, when you're in grief and you can't see the light, like, it's a dark place. I've been there myself in my own mental health journey, and I've been depressed before, and that is not a place I want to. I don't know how what life is going to throw at me, so I don't know if I'm ever going to be there again, but oof, that's a really really isolating dark place to be in.
Yeah, I've been in this place a few times. So I had depression and I know for a few years before.
Mhm.
And, when I had to face grief for the first time is when my dad passed. And
Yes.
he just didn't wake up. So there was no
Oh.
warning sign or anything. And
Oh.
he was 60, so he was fairly young.
Yeah,
And
that is
like
young, yeah.
at that stage, I knew no one who died. It's very well, but I had all of my grandparents. I had like so the first time I
Uh,
had to face grief was my
was
dad.
with your dad, yeah.
Yeah. So that was already very dark and very difficult to process. And I feel like when I was in 2023 looking, through, I don't know, online, I found this quote saying, behind every strong woman, there is a story that gave her no other choice.
I mean, that is true.
And I
I would
was
have to say
like, well,
that's
yeah.
very accurate.
I was, I don't know, but watching it, and I was like, well, yeah.
Yeah, what
Like,
choice do I have? Yeah.
what choice do I have? And then I look at women around me, and I'm like, oh, we say they're so strong, but they don't have a choice. Like, you just don't have a choice.
Yeah.
And And obviously you could like I know I could have just go back to my 9 to 5 job, which I didn't hate. I liked my 9 to 5. So I
Yeah.
could have just go back to my 9 to 5 where I had a good job and I was well paid and with my friends. But I thought, everything collapsed and there is no, I think what I realized is I was waiting for the good time to go into
Mm.
business and do my things. And the good time never comes and might never come.
No.
And I told my husband, I think the good time I have to create it.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
think I'm creating it now. And this time in 6 months, I will leave corporate.
And I
And
love that you said that to yourself, and that's what you made it happen. Like you were just like, I'm gonna do this. You set out that goal,
Yeah.
you set out that intention, and then you're like, yep. And you didn't know, like, I commend you for that. I also am a corporate leaver or a guy left corporate, and
Yeah.
it's scary. It's very scary. When you leave that, a 9 to 5, it's comfortable, you have your benefits, you have colleagues, and it's scary to go out on your own, especially after what you went through. I mean, you
Well,
know,
the thing is, I didn't find it scary at all.
really?
Yeah. So I remember a Christmas party in 2023 where I told people this time next year, I will tell you I've left corporate. So like I had the idea about a year before, and then I think 6 months before, I really was like, okay, that's happening. But I said I will, and then beginning of 2024, I wrote my resignation letter,
Wow.
and I dated it.
Yep, you
And
had it
then I took
all
my
planned
work
out.
calendar, and I booked a meeting in my work calendar. I didn't invite my manager at the time, but it was booked in my calendar as the day I will resign. But this
Wow.
is the day I resign. There's the time I will resign. I have the letter ready. I think I had the letter ready in like February or March, like something like super early in the
Super
year.
early. Yeah, you knew.
Because I was
Yeah.
like, this is happening. And then I resigned. And when I left, it was just so, I was expecting to have a party, and I was just like, well, no, it's just normal. It's just the
Yeah.
next logical step. So I remember friends, I had a lot of Prosecco and champagne being sent to me by friends and
Yeah.
flowers.
Like you left
And I was
corporate.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, and I was like, that's very nice, but I just don't feel the festivity of it all. I just feel like it's just normal. And I don't even think I announced it on my social media that I was leaving because I was just like, it's just so obvious. It's
It was
such the
just your
next
next
logical
step.
step. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I didn't feel scary. I felt scared maybe when things started to work. This is when I
Mm.
started to freak out. I started to have a fear of success.
Isn't
So
that crazy that
oh
you
yeah,
dream about this
blow my
success?
mind.
And then when it happens, you're the visceral. I will agree with you. I'm so happy you shared that because like the visceral experience of like when you're like, oh, like because this is what you wanted, right? Like when I
Mm,
started my business, I was like, this is what I want. And then when you get what you want, you're like, oh my gosh, you're like you have to like you're like you because it's I think it's an amazing feeling to like you set out a goal, a dream, and now you're
mm.
making it come true. It's like, oh my God, like I did that, you know?
Yeah, I think I had a fear of success, and I'm still battling a bit with the fear of success.
Mm,
Um, so when I left, I was like, yeah, just normal. Like I'm doing it, it's fine. Like I was really wasn't worried. When I had my first month, though, I matched my salary in June. So I
yeah.
left at the end of the, I matched my salary in June, and then in July I freaked out massively because I matched my salary. And I think in my head I was like, oh, now I get the responsibility of it, and now I'm like. I said I will do this and I did it. And
Yeah.
then I said I will do this and I did it. And then I said I will do this and I did it. And I'm like, oh
Yep.
my God. And I don't know, I think it hit me that first, if I say something, it happens. So maybe be careful how high
Yeah,
you're going to place the bar.
be careful what you say. Oh, that's a big like I mean, yeah, like because they say like be careful. That's why also words are really important. I don't know if you heard the term. It's that's what words are spells, and that's why they call it spelling.
Oh, no, I
I
haven't
don't
heard
know if
that.
you so
No.
like be that's what they say be with like I know it's like manifestation and they say be very careful with what you tell yourself even if you're joking. Like if you say like,
Mm.
"Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I'm blah blah blah," and you're joking about it like or like making fun of yourself, like be very careful because the universe doesn't know the difference.
Yeah, I think for me it was more like I said I would leave corporate in a year, did it.
Did it.
I said I
Yeah.
will match my salary in 6 months. Did it.
Did it.
I said I
Yeah.
will hit that much level of income in December. Did it.
Did it.
So in
Yeah.
January this year, I was like, okay, I need to be careful what I decide for this year because whatever
Because
I
it
decide,
seems like everything I keep on saying I'm gonna do, I do.
everything I said I'm gonna do, I'm actually doing it. So let's
That's
be
amazing.
careful
That's
of what we're
awesome.
doing.
That's great.
That is, but I think yeah, at the summer it really freaked me out.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's the first time I fear of success, which I think for years I had fear of failure. So I was pretty comfortable being afraid of failing, but being afraid of success, I was like, what the hell is
You're like,
this?
I was okay with that.
Yeah, fear of failing, I'm good. I navigated this one for years, but fear of success was a new one for me to navigate. So yeah, I think that
Yeah,
was the one.
it is. Yeah, like I would say I like another thing I would love like I think that's the thing with what you define success as, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I love that also too that you kind of you mentioned that like like it almost like it's like you had to recreate that because for a while your
Yeah.
version of success was family and having a child and you invested
Mm.
so much time and money and your body into that and then you kind of had to pivot and now you have this amazing business and you still have a family, you still have your husband, but I can only imagine that anticipation and anticipating potentially having a child and then going through
Yeah.
all of that and that's you had to pivot and reframe your life and move move directions a little bit like that's a big like you had to redefine your version of success in a way.
Yeah, and I think it's not even redefining my version of success. It's also us as a couple. Because
Mm-hmm.
obviously having a child, like we're too involved. So
Yeah,
it was
yes.
like, okay.
It takes two.
So it takes two.
Yeah.
So we were, it was okay. So I'm not gonna be a mom. You're not gonna be a dad, but we're also not together gonna be parents.
Mm,
And what do we have together? Like, how do we create a life where we both find fulfillment and we both find happiness when actually we don't like it doesn't look like we wanted it to look. It doesn't look like everybody else's because all of our friends, all of our brother and sisters, they all have kids,
yeah.
right? So we are like the only one who don't. And then we have different level of need when it comes to freedom.
Mm,
Okay. And that also for me, I'm like, I want because obviously I live in the UK, but my family is in France. And
okay.
I want to be able to go and see my mom like tomorrow for a month and a half if I want to. And I'm like, you
Yeah,
know what?
that's
I
the
could do that.
freedom.
Yeah, I could go
Yeah.
and see my mom for a month and a half. But my husband can't because he is self-employed, but his work is very local. So
Hmm.
okay, so we can't just pick up our bags and just go anywhere, anytime. So we
Mm,
still have some restriction around where we live and
yes.
around our time and how many time we can travel because of you, because of your
Yeah.
job. So it's not because we have kids, it's just so that how do we
Yeah.
navigate this so then we can both have some freedom because literally
You
our
can
life,
build your
there is
life
this,
the way you
yeah,
want to build it. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, there is this social media trend at the minute, which is sharing pictures of you in 2016.
Yes, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I've seen that and I haven't done it because I actually don't know if I have any picture because I have to look back at like I don't really know if I have any old pictures of myself from 2016. I'm like I don't know where they are because I mean I definitely had an iPhone, but
Yeah.
I don't remember where they are.
Yeah, and you know what? I've done it yesterday. I resisted it, and yesterday I did
Okay, and
it. And then
yesterday you did it.
I spent hours looking
Sure.
at old pictures, and I loved
Yeah.
it. But then I looked at it, and I talked to my husband, and I was like, you know what? Our life hasn't really changed. Like we don't have more responsibility. We have more pets than we had because we have
Yeah,
more
yeah.
pets, but we don't have kids. And okay, now we have a house, and we're renovating the house, so that's a responsibility. But otherwise, we kind of lucky in the sense of we can do whatever we want whenever we want
Yeah.
because now we don't have kids and we have double income, so we
Yes,
have
you
more
have a
money than we
yeah.
had at the time.
Yep.
We don't have kids, so we can actually decide, let's go here, let's do that.
Yep.
So one thing for us when we realized we couldn't have like after the whole miscarriages and things, we started to learn how to ride motorbikes.
Oh, yeah. That's a
So
new
we took
like
a
a
motorbike
newfound
license.
hobby. Yeah.
Yeah. So we both took a motorbike license. We both bought big motorbikes. We both become bikers. And and then this year we decided to go on a motorbike trip for a couple of weeks across
Nice.
France.
Very nice.
And just like, the freedom of just jumping on motorbikes and
Yeah.
riding from the UK somewhere, maybe Spain, maybe France, maybe Italy, we don't even know. And I'm like, this is, you can redefine your life and you can find
Absolutely.
things always.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing too. I love that you said like redefine because I think we're always doing that. Like even like think about our, because I entered corporate too. You know what I mean? I went like I was
Mm,
worked in marketing and then I got to the end tail end of corporate and I was like I looked at my life and I was like I physically, emotionally, spiritually, I was like I can't stay here. I was like if I like not to be dramatic, but I was like if I stay in corporate America for the next, I was like 30 when I kind of started thinking about leaving.
mm.
I was like, I can't, I was like, I'd rather not be here than stay in this environment for 30 more years. I was like, that's how like dire it was that like of course I didn't like the next morning quit my job. Like I
Oh
just put
yeah,
I put a plan into place like you, but I wasn't like, oh yeah, the next day like putting my, my 2 weeks, but I think, like, cause it, like, like, back in when I was younger, like, my version of success was that, like, corporate.
yeah,
And then I totally pivoted and now my version. But I think you hit the nail on the head too with like freedom, because that's one thing
yeah,
entrepreneurship has. It has its ups and its down. I think everybody thinks it's like this like glamour. It's not, so it's not. As me and Claire were talking before we got, it's a lot of internal struggles and talking to yourself and I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on, but the freedom of it, you have something that's yours, you can work from
yeah.
and I like the freedom and the flexibility of it. That like it's,
S- Yeah, so I don't call it freedom, I call it flexibility.
you thought okay, yeah.
Because for me, freedom is like, you can pack up your bags and go
Oh
somewhere, do
yeah, no,
nothing
yeah,
for a
yeah.
month. And you're like, no, you can't. If you have a
Well, yeah.
business, you can't do that. You have the flexibility of, as I know when I left, so people were like, oh, you're gonna be free all day. I said, well, no, I still have a job.
Oh
I
yeah.
still
Well,
it's
honestly, you probably
you
are.
probably work more.
That's
You
what,
probably work more
exactly.
now than before, right?
I've seen like on like social media, there's a quote that's like entrepreneurship. They're like, "Oh, I left my 40 hour a week job to work 90 as an entrepreneur." I'm like, "Yeah, that's pretty accurate." I'm like, "You don't
Yeah,
work but you're right. It's more
it's a
fluid.
flexibility.
If yeah,
It's more fluid.
flexibility, exactly. Like I always say, people like I don't have work-life balance because as an entrepreneur, there is really not a lot of balance. I think that's like I always say I have work-life integration. So like,
Yeah.
yes, I might be working on a weekend, but I can also take off on a random Tuesday to go get a massage or go get my nails done or a
Yeah,
doctor.
it's flexibility.
Exactly. And I like my days are very like, all right, like I'll work and then I'll do something personal. It's like it's very, yeah, exactly. It's flexible. It's not like so rigid
Yeah.
that like I do try to keep to the, a 9 to 5 schedule, but like if it's great too, like if I'm feeling tired, like if I have the time in the day, if I don't have any podcast calls or client calls, I'm like, yeah, I could take
Mm.
a nap. Like, like if I'm just
Yeah,
having
yeah.
a like, I mean, at some offices you can do that, but at most places you can't. But yeah, you definitely build that flexibility.
I think it's the flexibility and the
Yeah.
creative freedom. So I
Yes.
know, I worked in sales and corporate, and we had a lot of processes to follow and things to do. And I'm a fairly creative. I'm not creative in the sense of artistic, but I'm a creative thinker. Like I think differently. I want to do different things. I want to create things. I want to speak
Yeah.
about this because I want to speak about it. I want to
But
not do
nowhere,
this
yeah, nobody
because I
holding
don't
you
want
back,
anymore.
or you don't have to get
Yeah.
approval. You don't have to be like, because I was like, and I will share with you too. Like, I think anybody that starts a business or as an entrepreneur, like you're a creator, like, you know what I mean? Whether you
Yeah.
like it or not, as we were talking about, you have to create. Yeah, whether you want to or not, you're gonna be a creator in
Yeah,
some
creator.
aspect. So
Yeah.
like that having that place to be self-expressive and
Yeah.
not hold back is that's the freedom.
Freeing.
That's it. Like that's the
Yeah.
creative
Yeah.
freedom. And that's amazing to like go out and share your voice and your, you know, um gift to the world. I mean, that is probably one of the best things about entrepreneurship that I love is that like it's me, it's my voice. Yeah, I'm not always perfect, but I don't have to hide behind like somebody's approval or.
Yeah. I think what is it? I remember in my last year in corporate, one of my clients needed some kind of flyer or something. And
Yeah.
I wasn't in the marketing team, I was in the sales team, but I knew exactly what they wanted and what they needed. So I thought, you know what? It is a marketing thing, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
did it. And my manager loved it. And she was like, yeah, it's perfect. So who did that? Oh, I did it. Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Who
not
did
the
that?
marketing team. So, no, it's not the marketing team. Oh, well, make sure the marketing team doesn't see it because you're not technically
Because yeah,
allowed
you
to
like,
do
yep,
it.
yeah. You had to
And
like,
I was like, right, but we all agree it's amazing what I've done. Like, it's good. Like, this is
yeah,
what they want.
exactly.
But it's because it wasn't made by the right team.
I
And I
know the
think for
right
me,
person.
it was all these like internal politic and processes where I was like, I just don't vibe with that. That was the only
Mhm.
part where I was like, because then I remember having to ask the marketing team to do a flyer like I did, and they had to send it, and it took forever. And I was like, why can't you just like, I can do this in 20 minutes. Why
Mm.
does it take 2 weeks of approval to get this? And I think for me it was this of being now self-employed. I'm like, oh, I want to do this.
Yeah, if
Good,
you want
done,
to do
20
it, yep.
minutes. Yeah.
Yep, yeah. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, perfect. I will agree with you that the corporate I would call it like bureaucracy and for lack of a better
Yeah, that's what,
term and like
yeah.
just like the approvals, it's just like I'm just like, yeah, like I just don't have the time like especially as like an as you know, as an entrepreneur and like a coach, like you just some that's actually what entrepreneurship has taught me because I will say I'm a struggling perfectionist and being in like a traditional marketing background with like you have your steps and you go through these steps to like get like think about like launching a piece of content like you would have to go through like copywriting
Oh my goodness.
designing and for me it's like though I'm like don't have time for this I'm like all like just give me my phone and I'm good like we'll figure it out you know like
Yeah, I think that was the same for me. I move very fast. So
yes
I
me
will
too
have a shower. I'll have an idea in the shower.
and
And
then
I mean, it happened on Monday, right? I think Monday this week or last week, Monday this week. I had an idea in the shower. I was doing a live half an hour later on Instagram to share my idea. And I
yeah
had a sign up page ready and I had it all in half an hour. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, in corporate, then would have
that
taken
would take a
so
month
many
yeah
meetings.
that would take a month
I know. So I move very quick and I need things to move very quick. And I think it's one of my strengths that everything's move very quick with me. But
yes.
yeah, it's definitely, yeah, part of the freedom, creative freedom I do like being an
Yes,
entrepreneur for
yes,
sure.
it is. Yeah, it is great to. I think that's also great for like, you know, you would know from like working because you work with women and like building their confidence and really
Mm,
I think that's like a very like when you're have the when you feel like you're be able to like self-express yourself and
yeah.
share that with the world. I think it's such a like empowering and like um it's amazing for like your self-worth like to like you know like to be seen in the world as like who you are um I will say I don't know if you've experienced that I would love to know I haven't experienced any like negativity or like criticism or yet I know it's coming because I'm not perfect and like you don't have to like me like if
Mm,
you like me, that's great. But like I don't post anything that's like, you know, I don't go like I don't have a I'm not like polarized or I don't post anything that's like controversial. But I know there are, you know, there are people, you know, like it is hard when you do put yourself out there and you are like you have this lovely freedom of self-expression. But then in the other hand, you have because you're expressing yourself out in the world you have potential feedback, wanted or unwanted, that you might get.
hmm. Yeah, so I had one comment last year, I think, of someone commenting on my stories. And I don't
Yeah.
even know what it was, but I remember like he was very rude. He just said like
Yeah.
F you. And I was like, oh, okay,
Oh,
block.
interesting.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Clearly, like, and I don't even know what I was sharing, but nothing special. And I was just like, block. I would say that I post polarizing content sometimes, not because on purpose, but just because I like to share how I think. And
Hmm.
sometimes I have different opinions and I just don't hold back on sharing them. Because I know, before I was only do it with my clients. And I'm like, actually, when I speak the truth, that really resonates. So I
Yeah.
just want to speak the truth and I just want to say what I think. And sometimes I know I'm sharing things and I'm like, someone is not gonna like this. But at the same time, that's what I think is true. And this is what I
Exactly.
think some women need to hear.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm gonna post it. I mean, I posted one last week where I think someone was I went to a lot of networking events and a lot of women were like, oh, but it's January, things are being slow. So, I'm just showing up and I hope it's going to work.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is that going to work if you just go and hope it's going to work? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
people don't stop buying in January. I had my highest cash month
Oh,
in
yeah.
December,
Yeah. No,
right? I had my
people.
highest,
Yeah.
yeah. So I had my highest catch month like 3 days before Christmas. I
That's
sold my
amazing.
highest package of coaching package. And I'm like, people don't stop buying because it's Christmas or January or August. They
No,
don't buy.
no, no. They people buy all the time.
Yeah.
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 As long as they
They
have
don't
an active
buy.
cash and credit cards, they buy whenever they want.
Yeah. So like people don't just not buy, they don't buy because you don't activate them into buying because you're not clear
Exactly.
enough in what you're saying.
Yes.
So don't blame the month. And then if you
Yes.
just go out and hope, like I used to work in corporate sales and I remember we had a massive meeting, like hundreds of people. And the guy said, oh yeah, we have this strategy and we hope it's going to work. And the
Yeah,
big
hope
boss
is
was
not a
like,
strategy.
that's what he said. He was like, hope is not a strategy.
Yep.
And you can imagine how quiet everybody was. And for me, like I never hoped my business will work. I decided it will.
Ooh, I love that. I love that.
I decided that my success was inevitable. I
That's amazing.
decided, and then I knew that if I decide my success is inevitable, my success is gonna be inevitable. I never once hoped it's gonna work.
It's like oh,
You've,
like hope, like dream thing doesn't work out. It's like, what do you mean? Like, there's no. Oh, sorry. Am I frozen again? Freezing again. I sorry.
yeah,
My
yeah,
my
yeah.
internet is unstable. I apologize. I'm back now. But they have this thing. It's like, what if this whole like dream of yours doesn't work out? And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, like it's gonna work out. Like, there's no other option. As you said, like when you have no other option to be strong, you be strong. It's like with this, it's like, yeah, there's no other option for it to work out. Like I'm not, I'm not entertaining any other idea or any other,
Yeah.
like, and yeah, like, and especially in entrepreneur, like, of course you hope for things to happen and things to go well, but yeah, no, it's like hope, yeah. You don't hope your way to building a business. I agree with it. I
No, I
agree with
think
you
you
there.
decide.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
And then it's also okay, you show up, but showing up isn't really doing anything. Showing up is just being present. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean being visible. It doesn't mean selling.
No, yeah, selling, yeah, yeah, you have to go through. I'm even like going through it myself because I have a marketing background and you probably are benefiting from having like a sales background. And I will say I
Mm,
never went into sales because it intimidated me a little bit.
yeah.
Being a sales is very, conversions, it's very I always felt like when I don't know, I just always kind of stayed more in the marketing lens, but as I'm becoming an entrepreneur, I of course had to learn to sell and be comfortable with sales. And
Mm.
but that was a journey for me to get to that place because I was like, oh, I could just hide behind what I'm comfortable in marketing. But I'm like, no, you have to push yourself to be a good salesperson because that's how you're gonna make money. Like
Yeah, I think, a few, like last year, I went back through all of my social media posts when I started my business. So,
yeah.
back to 2019 and this. And I remember having clients. I always had one or two clients, but I only ever had one or two clients at a time.
Mm.
And I was like, so why did I did? What did I do? And I look back through all my content. So, I was scrolling on
Yeah,
Facebook
just
for
to
like the last
see.
five
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
like you got, I never sold anything.
Mm.
I never had a launch. I think I launched twice in 3 years for like two posts. And
Wow.
so I had clients because of referrals and
Amazing.
because of people looking at my content and messaging me, but I never actually actively sold for
Sold
3 years.
something. Yeah.
So I had two launches and I remember it like I think I posted twice on social media about a program and that was it. But I never thought, well, obviously I didn't make money. because I wasn't selling. I was posting, I was being present. So that
Mm-hmm.
attracted one person every 3 to 4 months that maybe then referred me to one person,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't actually made an income because I wasn't actively selling.
Mm. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that the difference, it's about posting and being present. It
Mm-hmm.
is not making money. It's not
Oh
selling.
no, no. Like I would say like people are always like, "Oh yeah, like I mean I do because of the nature of our
Yeah.
world. We have to post to social media." But I would much rather be working with clients or selling or building my email list than being on social media. Like and as I'm talking about this as I'm talking and I do enjoy my podcast as much as like I started this as like a fun like, oh, I'll just do and it's I'm so blessed of the like, because
Mm.
of the people that I've met through it, the connections I've made, referrals. It's just been so, and like just hearing people's stories and giving people like you and other people in the world a space to just have a voice.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love like every person I meet, every conversation that I have with every on my podcast. I'm like, I could literally talk to all of my guests I've had on so far. I'm like, I could talk to you all day. Like like I'm just like I
Yeah,
could
yeah.
like they're just I don't know, I just had made some great conversations with people. So but it's also something else and I'm like, "Oh, well how are we going to monetize?" Like not to be like all about business, but I'm like it does take up a lot of time for something that is not generate, not sales,
Yeah, I think you need to think about, when you look at a sales journey, you had different way of doing it.
Of
And the
course.
way the way I see it is not about like what I just hate. It's like the salesy DM of people trying to
I
push
know.
something
Or
on
like
you.
the
Absolutely hate this.
automated, like, the because I
Mm-mm.
mean, I'll be honest, I have many chat, that software that DMs you or that you
Yeah,
follow. But you can tell these days like what's authentic and what's not, or what's a real person,
yeah.
what's not. I
But I
mean,
think selling doesn't have to be in it. I had a lot when I used to be in corporate, I had a lot of my colleagues as clients. A lot
mm,
of them. And the
mm,
only reason is because I was a life coach, nutrition coach, wellness coach, kind of like this
yeah.
general kind of coach. And when we would talk about our weekend or about their day, I think, and they would keep telling me they struggle with the same thing, I was like, I can help you with this. And they're like, oh, so, well, I'm a coach and this is what I help with and I can help. And they're like, oh, okay, how can you help? And this
And
is what I
then
will say. And then I will have a client out of it. It wasn't
amazing.
salesy. It wasn't anything like this. It's literally just telling people that you can help or
Yes.
giving people a way to take the next step with you. And
Mm-hmm.
the way I see it is what I teach my client is what I call magnetic authority. Because people are going to buy into someone they like and they're going to buy into someone they see as an authority. And
Mm-hmm.
in my 3 years of trying to grow, there are two women they could have promoted anything, I would have bought it.
That's
One of
amazing.
them,
And those are the
I
people
bought,
that you
yeah,
have. Those are like your lifetime. Those are people that are like gold because you'll go back to them. Not to go back to them, but it's like they will buy. They love you. You need your like biggest fans.
okay, so I was the one buying from them. I
Oh,
will
you were the
buy
one buying from them.
anything. Yeah, yeah. One of them, I was buying any workshop she put out, any course, anything she will do, I will just buy it. And it took me a year and a half to realize I kept buying the same stuff, packaged
Mm.
differently.
Package
And I was
shipping.
like,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
I'm just buying the same thing over and over again. She just called it differently, but it's the
But
same
that's the
stuff.
power of having that magnetic authority.
But because I saw her as this magnetic authority that I want what she's having, I want it all. And then I had another one, what they said, but was like anything she was putting out, I want it, I want to buy it. And then I realized, okay, this is how you do sales.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do sales by sending an email sequence and having
Yeah, you have to have
um
that. Yeah, that
you need to have
embodiment.
this
Yeah.
this embodiment, you need to have this magnetism and you need to be seen as the authority. Otherwise, you just, oh, I love your post and you're so inspiring, but
Yes,
you never
yeah,
make
yeah.
any
That's
sale,
different
right?
than like, yeah.
Yeah.
There's an end goal to
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the
So
marketing.
I
Yeah.
studied these two women from who I bought so much stuff. And I was like, this is what they
They have
have.
that, yeah, they have
This
that
is how
magnetic
yeah,
authority.
this is how I want to sell. And
I love
now I have people coming to me, telling me, buying everything I put out, signing up to everything I put out, and telling me, I want to work with you. How can you coach me? How can you help me? I want what you're doing. I want to do the same way. I want, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is how we do it. Because this, then you don't have to sell per se. You can just
Exactly.
share your message in a way that sells itself.
Exactly. And then when you get on the sales call, it's basically like, yeah, when are we working together? It makes it easy for
Yeah,
you, you know. It's not like, yeah, there's not that like, oh, like, you know, that push and pull. But Claire, this has been such an amazing conversation. Thank you so much for joining the show. And you are on, I know you have your website, which is it
Claire Craig
clairecoaching.co.uk.
Coaching.
I'm sorry? Claire Quick Coaching, excuse me.
ClaireCraigCoaching.co.uk.
And then you are on Instagram at Claire Quick Coaching as
Yes.
well. Awesome. So everybody, if you want to work with Claire, she can find her there. And as always, you can find this episode of the Feeling and Healing podcast and also other episodes on Feeling and Healing on YouTube, as well as Apple Podcasts and Spotify.